One piece of this cake has only 190 calories and almost 6 grams of protein. And you would be surprised how good it tastes. I'm going to start with preparing the pineapple for the fruit jello part. I have fresh chopped pineapple here. I just put it on the preheated pan, cover it up, and cook on medium-low heat. It takes about 30 minutes or so for the whole process. The pineapple will release its juice and will cook it. The liquid will evaporate and the pineapple will soften and get much sweeter. I love this process because I do not need any extra sugar. The fruit is just sweet enough. This trick works very well with apples, pears, peaches, and plums. I was skeptical about a pineapple, but I guess it works as well. I need to blend the pineapple until it's smooth. If you prefer chunks, you can skip this step. I am going to set it aside and prepare the cake base, the sponge cake. For that, I will need 4 whole eggs, half a teaspoon of coconut extract, 1/3 cup of sugar. Whisk at high speed until the eggs become foamy. Half a cup of all-purpose flour. That's about 60 grams. Half a teaspoon of baking powder. I will sift bit by bit and fold the flour into the eggs. I want to make sure that I do not deflate the eggs. And this is the sponge cake. Very simple, very light. You can make so many light desserts using this type of cake. Much healthier option, very little sugar and flour, mostly eggs. Pinch of salt. And 1/3 of a cup of unsweetened coconut flakes. I have here a 9-inch springform pan lined with parchment paper. Pour in the butter. Place in the oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Bake for 25 to 30 minutes. Baking time depends on your oven. Sometimes you might need a little bit higher temperature, sometimes lower, but you have to definitely figure that out. The cake has to cool completely before proceeding with the next steps. I like to remove it from the pan and let it cool on the rack. While it is cooling, I will prepare jello layer. 1 package of pineapple jello, that's about 13 grams. I am using sugar-free version. By the way, you can also use a gelatin and make a little bit of a pineapple juice and substitute for the, well, highly processed jello form. Because I will be adding fruit to the jello, I have to reduce the amount of water that is required according to the instructions of the package. The instructions say 1 cup of hot and 1 cup of cold water. I will add half of that, which is half a cup of water, and dissolve Jello in it. And I will add a half a cup of cold water. I need to add the Jello to the pineapple and mix well. Into the fridge to cool and set slightly, just enough so it is not liquid and I can spread it over the cake. Before the Jello layer, I want to add punch to the cake to make it nice and moist. It does improve the texture and flavor. I am removing the layers so the cake soaks the punch well. Now for the punch. 1 ounce of water, 1 ounce of coconut liqueur, and 1 ounce of coconut milk. Spread evenly over the sponge. Now I'm going to add pineapple jello on top. Put the pan back on. The jello has a good consistency to spread. And refrigerate until it sets completely. Yogurt and cream layer is next. For that, I will need some gelatin. 2 teaspoon gelatin, that's about 8 grams, dissolved in about an ounce of water, hot water. Ten ounces of 5% fat Greek yogurt. Half a teaspoon coconut extract. 6 ounces of heavy whipping cream. Quarter cup of powdered sugar. Whip on medium speed. Be careful not to make butter accidentally. The gelatin cooled enough to add the yogurt. Don't wait until it cools completely because it will set and you won't be able to incorporate it. Because it is still very warm, I add it to yogurt very slowly while stirring. Fold in the whipping cream. Refrigerate for 30 minutes. And now I am ready to assemble it. Spread the cream on top and refrigerate until everything is set. 2 to 3 hours. I noticed the cake is even better the very next day, so you can make it a night ahead. And this is how it looks. Pretty good. Time for a taste test. So good. Very light. Just sweet enough. So satisfying. And only 190 calories per slice. Guilt-free dessert that can be served at parties and no one would even know that is a healthier option. Just don't tell. Check out more of my dessert recipes here, and this is where I'm going to see you next.